How's it going, mates? Andrew B here, and today's video I am ranking Dark Souls bosses from easiest to hardest. Now, this won't include any of the DLC bosses, unfortunately, because I've never actually played the DLC. But please keep in mind, and a disclaimer, this is my personal opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine, but if you agree with some of the things I said, that's also fine. But if you like the video, drop a like on it, and if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it helps me out a lot, and enjoy the video. Coming in at the easiest boss in Dark Souls is the joke of the community, Pinwheel. I don't know what From Software were thinking putting such an easy boss at one of the most fucking stupidest areas of the game, the catacombs, but as you can see from the footage, I hit him in 3 hits, so it's fucking easy. At the number 2 spot is the Asylum Demon. Now this is the tutorial boss for Dark Souls, and of course you'd expect it to be an easy boss because it's a tutorial, but if you're not careful it can decimate your health because you're such a low level. But if you get the plunge attack right at the start, you've knocked off 1/3 of its health, and then it's just a matter of running in, slashing at its asshole and dodging back when it winds up one of its attacks. Coming in at number 3 is the Taurus Demon. Now, if you have picked up the Gold Pine Resin from the Undead Berg, this battle is extremely easy. But in saying that, he does have some moves, and it makes it just a little bit difficult because you're fighting on such a narrow platform. But if you stay under him, roll when he attacks, he's got pretty big wind up, so you'd be able to roll in time and just slash away at him. You'll get there in time. Number 4 pick is Ceaseless Discharge. Now this is a mid to late game boss, if you'd like to put it like that, but I have never taken a hit from this boss, mainly because in the footage you were seeing, I cheese it, so you can pretty much defeat it in 7 hits with your fist, as long as you run to the fog gate. It is such an easy boss. Coming in at number 5 will be the Iron Golem. This is fought on top of Sen's Fortress. Sen's Fortress is always a pleasure to go through, but the Iron Golem is just very disappointing in a boss. I mean, you go through Sen's Fortress and that's a little bit difficult to navigate through, and then you get to this thing. If you slash at its knees long enough, he'll stumble around like a fat kid trying to avoid stepping on his birthday cake, and if you hit him even more, he'll fall on his ass and occasionally tumble off the side of the map. He is just a stupid boss. Coming in at number 6 is the Bell Gargoyles. This fight is the introduction to 2v1s in Dark Souls. If you've picked up the Gold Pine Resin in the Undead Berg, this fight will be a little bit easier, but it becomes even easier if you kill one of them before the other shows up, because one of them has a big fucking axe he swings around and hits you a lot, and the other one just breathes fire, and that's easily dodged. But they can knock you off the building, and that does become really fucking annoying, but if you keep at it, keep up your rolls, your stamina management, you'll get them down. Number 7 spot, I'm combining the Stray Demon and the Fire Demon Sage, because I don't know why they did this From Software. Your game's fantastic, but why would you just reskin the Asylum Demon with just a little AoE and a fucking butt slam? It makes no sense. They're just, if the attack patterns are the same for both of them, and they're easy to dodge, they're easy to kill, just as long as you're winding up and rolling properly. At the number 8 spot, we have the Gaping Dragon, and yes, I know it looks like a vagina with teeth, and I only realised that because my partner showed me this weird fucking movie from I think it was the 80s, where a woman has teeth in her vagina. But this boss is simple, straightforward. What my strategy is to bait its slam down and charge at you, because after it's finished its charging, it just stands there momentarily for 2 seconds, so you can get as many hits in 2 seconds as you want. And on top of that, if you cut off its tail, you get one of the dragon weapons. I believe it's the Dragon King Great Axe. So if you're ballsy, you can go for that. Coming in at number 9 is Dark Sun Gwendolyn. This is a chase boss fight, so after you enter the fog gate, you are pretty much in an endless hallway where you have to chase your boss fight down. And not only that, but he is throwing some homing soul crystal mass at you and a very heavy soul spear at you. But the way to defeat this boss is to get him up on his little tentacle thingies and get him to shoot arrows. Then you can go in, wail on him, he'll teleport, and then you rinse and repeat until he's dead. Coming in at number 10 is Crossbreed Priscilla. Now this battle is quite unique because she gives you the option to leave the painted world without fighting it. But if you're like me and are trigger happy and just like swinging your sword, it becomes a very unique battle because she turns invisible, and the only way to see where she is by the footprints on the ground that she makes. Now this would be it's a very good idea, but with her low health pool, she goes down in a couple of hits by that stage, so it's pointless. Coming in at number 11, we have Seath the Scaleless. Now, I really like this fight because he's invulnerable until you go behind and smash his little crystal. But after you smash his crystal, he becomes very, very easy. All you got to do is run up, slash at him a few times, he'll start flailing his tentacle legs around, you roll back, and then you rinse and repeat. But he does occasionally release crystals from the ground that, if you're not careful, can build up your curse meter and ultimately kill you. But if you keep your eye on that and keep slashing at him until he's dead, you'll get this fight over and done with pretty quickly. Coming in at number 12 on my list is Quelaag the Chaos Switch. Now this fight, I really like this fight because it's not over necessarily easy, but it's not over necessarily hard. And I quite like that. She does have some AoE attacks, but the thing, if you stick to her right side behind the head when the spider is shooting lava, you're pretty much invincible. But there is one move to look out for, and that is when she lays down on her head, because that's when she releases an AoE attack that can, if you're not careful, take away a majority of your health. But if you keep at it and keep baiting it to do lava attacks and running in and chopping at its right ear, you should be able to get it down pretty quickly and kill her. Up next on my list is Centipede Demon, which you fight immediately after the Demon Fire Sage. Now, the boss isn't necessarily hard. I mean, he is aggressive, like, he just keeps attacking and attacking and attacking, but the thing that makes this boss fight just a little bit harder is the arena. You've got lava everywhere, and that could just chew through your health if you manage to accidentally step in it or you're pushed in it. But if you, pretty much with any big boss, you try and get under them, slash at their legs, and when they jump up, you run away. It's that strategy for most of the big bosses, so if you do that, he's bound to go down quickly. Number 14 on my list is the Capra Demon. Now, the Capra Demon itself isn't hard. I mean, he's got some pretty strong attacks, but if you walk up the ladder and drop down, he'll drop down, and he has a 5-second recovery time. Just kidding, he has a pretty long recovery time. But the thing that makes this boss fight a little bit too tricky is the fact that there's two dogs that are they just run at you as soon as you enter the fog gate, and because you're in such a tight area, you cannot dodge as well as you used to. But once you get rid of the dogs, the Capra Demon should go down pretty quickly after that. Coming in at number 15 is the Great Grey Wolf Sith. I love this boss fight. I just love it. And I know it's tricky, I know it's hard, but if you want to defeat Sith easily, it is kind of just get under him, slash at his legs. He has some pretty telegraphed attacks, but the one you got to look out for is when he spins and when he lunges at you with his giant fucking sword. But the thing I really like about this boss fight is the lore behind it. I'm not going to really go into the lore on this one, but there is one thing From Software did in this boss fight that I absolutely hate, is that if you get him low enough in health, he starts limping around the battlefield, and at that time I just don't want to end the fight because I love walls. So From Software, you did an awesome job with this boss fight. I give you props for that, but that limping, it just gets me. Coming in at number 16 is the Moonlight Butterfly. Are you a melee fighter like a majority of people that plays Dark Souls? Well, this fight is going to kick your ass because this thing only lands every few minutes, and even then you only get a few seconds to get a good hit in it. And not only that, but when he's flying in the air, he tends to throw every fucking spell he has in his arsenal at you. So this fight becomes an endurance test and see how many healing items you've got. Fuck this boss. Coming in at number 17 is Gravelord Nito. Now, this boss fight is pretty tricky because not only do you have the boss, Nito, but you also have those fucking skeletons that everyone knows and loves from the catacombs in there with him. But the good thing is he does an AoE attack and he kills them for a few seconds for you, so you can go in and wail on him. And the AoE doesn't really do too much damage to you, so you're pretty much okay. But if he does not do an AoE, he has this move where he plunges his scythe or whatever it is into the ground and it shoots up and sticks you, and that can hurt pretty well. Coming in at number 18 is the Four Kings. Now this battle is pretty much a damage per second fight. So when you first enter into the boss room, there is only one king, and then after a certain number of minutes, the second king, third king, and fourth king appear, all after a certain amount of time after each other. So if you have a high DPS, you can pretty much take them out one at a time. But they do have some pretty good attacks. They have magic, a magic beam that fucking obliterates you. They can grab you and take half your health. But again, if you have a high DPS, it really shouldn't be a problem because you can just fight them one-on-one, which is good. Coming in at number 19 on my list is Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Now, I like this fight. I like the music that plays when you're fighting him, but the thing that makes this fight difficult for me is that he is so relentless. You barely have enough time to find a place to heal because he just is so relentless. I know you can parry him. I can parry him from time to time, but I'm not an expert at it. But this fight is just, it's a good end to a good game, and that music behind it is just superb. Coming in at 20 is personally my favourite fight in the whole of Dark Souls, and that's the Ornstein and Smough fight. Now this fight, when I first tried it, I got fucking demolished. But as I've gotten better at the game, it's still a hard fight. You have to be pinpoint with your rolls or you will get punished. But in saying that, once you kill one, the other one it becomes trivial at that point because it just becomes easy. The thing that made this boss fight good and hard for me was the fact that you had these two forces coming at you at the same time. One's fast and slow, like one's fast and a little bit weak, but the other one is just strong and slow. And after you defeat one, the other absorbs the power of the other, and it's just a fantastic fight. I mean, if I could, I would make multiple saves just so I can keep fighting this, but unfortunately Dark Souls doesn't really let you do that. And the lucky last and the hardest boss in Dark Souls, in my opinion, is the fucking Bed of Chaos. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking the Bed of Chaos is easy, but hear me out. The thing that makes it the hardest boss for me is the fact that after the floor starts caving in, that thing can it seems to, no matter where you are, it can just fucking knock you into one of these holes with its 20k kilometer long arms, and it pisses me off. I shit you not. I died at least 20 times, 20 times in the making of this video just on the Bed of Chaos. Every other boss, I rarely died. I mean, I think I died once at Ornstein and Smough. That's about it. But this boss, I died 20 times. And the thing that pisses me off even more is that you have to run to it. There's like a fucking 10 minute, no, not 10 minute, but it's like a 3 to 5 minute run from the bonfire to the boss room. The only redeeming factor that I can give to this boss fight is even if you die, your progress stays. So if you destroy one pimple or the other and you destroy both, you can just, if you're good enough, you can just run straight to the middle and kill it. But that thing just fucking loves throwing you in holes. I mean, I think it has a fetish of putting things in holes, but hey, that's not for me to judge. But yeah, that's just, I fucking hate the Bed of Chaos. It is the worst boss ever in a Dark Souls. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you disliked the video, leave a dislike. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. Again, this was my personal opinion on the bosses in Dark Souls. If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you agree with some of the things I said, that's also great. If you really liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I'll forever be grateful to you. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.